Hello and welcome to a new Aurora Devs tutorial for Unreal Engine. In this video, we'll show you how to use our new plugin Pulse Player Targeting to set up the focus modifier of our Ultimate Gameplay Camera plugin and our Dynamic Combat Camera plugin. You'll see that since UGC and DCC allow you to plug in whichever targeting system you have, Pulse Targeting will fit right in. For this tutorial, you'll need to have all three plugins already installed and set up. Please check out the installation tutorials if you haven't done so already. As you can see here, we have a project with all three plugins set up already. The first thing we'll do is set up DCC with Pulse Player Targeting. We've created here a camera data asset which will replace our default one. The goal is for the camera to dynamically react and zoom out when we have targets near us. If you'd like to know what these settings mean, make sure you check out our DCC features tutorial. Now we'll create the getActors method that DCC requires to know where all the enemies are. Since we already have a query set up in Pulse Targeting, we'll use the results from that. Here you can use an interface, a cast, or a getComponent by class in order to access the player targeting component. Actually, since Pulse Player Targeting supports targetable child actor components, let's make sure we don't add those to the list of targets. Here we plug in the isNotValid branch because we don't want targetable child actor components. We'll change the default camera data to the one we just made, but you can also choose to push/pop that camera data in runtime. Here I'm noticing that the camera doesn't zoom out as much as it should. That's because the EQS test is filtering out enemies that aren't on the screen, which defeats our purpose of zooming out the camera for all enemies around us. That's why we deleted the camera frustum test. And that's all for DCC. Using the query, DCC will automatically get all relevant targets in the search radius and act accordingly. Now we'll set up UGC's focus modifier. This one does not require a separate query. Instead, we'll use the top target of the same query as our camera lock-on target. What we'll do now is set the hard lock target to the best target in the query whenever we press Tab. Here we actually made a mistake and selected myProject.targetable instead of myProject.targeting. We set up a reference to the UGC Camera Manager and push the hard lock camera data whenever we set out hard lock target. We also need to pop it once we toggle it off. Here you can use an interface, a cast, or a get component by class in order to access the hard lock target. Since we need the target location as well, which makes sense since we have different targetable position, we need to have a reference to the hard lock target's pulse targetable component and the index of the targetable position. Let's not forget to fix our earlier mistake. You can see that whenever I press Tab, the camera lock-on kicks on the best available target. Now let's clean the code a bit and set up target switching so you can switch hard lock targets whenever you move the mouse.
About it right now, everything's okay. No matter where you find yourself, no matter what kind of stuff is going on in your life, underneath it all, everything's actually all right. You're okay. You have more power than you might be giving yourself credit for. If you have something that's going on in your life right now that's challenging,
In order to switch targets, we'll use Pulse Player Targeting's Find Next Best Target in Direction function. Now we'll add a cooldown, so that the switch doesn't get triggered repeatedly. And now you're able to switch targets with a flick of the mouse. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please leave us a like and subscribe. If you need help, don't hesitate to drop by the Discord server or send us an email at support@auroradevs.eu. And until next time.